Hello, today is February the 2nd, 2024. This is my 5th journal entry for the year, and I want to talk about a question that one of my students asked me in the recent masterclass that I just ran. And the question asked by one of my students is, Vin, how do I not care what other people think? And I've been thinking a lot about this because I think this is a very important question that many of you may also be thinking about. How do you not care what other people think? My thoughts on this is that it's almost impossible to not care because you're human. And I think a huge part of being human is that we do care. We care about what our peers think, we care about what other people think, and we care because often our survival depends on it, right? Because if you stop caring what other people think, then all of a sudden you may be doing something that then causes you to be extradited from the community, etc., back in the caveman days. So then I really think it's not about not caring what other people think. I think we have to think about and approach this differently, because to not care, I believe, is to not be human. I think being human, we're naturally going to care. And I really think that the people out there who are saying, oh, I don't care what everyone says about me, I think they do care. I really think they do. And I can tell you now, as a creator, as someone who creates content, one of the interesting things about this journey is that I have over 10 million people now who consume my content across all different platforms. We've got over 10 million followers now across all different platforms, and it's inevitable that anytime I create anything, I'm going to get a certain amount of hate, a certain amount of people who don't like me, right? It's inevitable, right? And I always think about this in a way that helps me accept it so I don't get upset over it. It's that one of my favorite things to eat in life is, let's use one of the examples I haven't used before, but one of my favorite dishes is green curry. I love a good green curry. It's just, But then what blows my mind is that there are some people out there in the world who actually don't like green curry, and I think that's the most ridiculous thing in the world. But if not everybody likes a dish that I believe is the most delicious thing on this planet, if not everybody likes green curry, then who am I to think that everybody's going to like me? It always gives me comfort, because if not everybody in the world likes the most delicious dish in the world, then of course not everybody's going to like me. So that brings me a lot of comfort. So then again, if not everybody's going to like me, as a part of my journey as a creator, I've had to learn how to deal with the negativity. I've had to learn how to deal with the people who don't like me. And the simplest remedy I have for this is to not be curious about the negativity, but rather place your curiosity within the positivity that you're receiving. So I've had to learn how to not be curious about the negativity. And I can almost explain to you in detail how it works for me right now, to be pragmatic about it, right? So for example, I will start reading some of my comment section, right? Every now and then I like to look in there because I also want to be looking at the positive comments that people leave me, the supportive and kind words that people leave me, right? So I'll go through the comments. Now what happens, and I've been able to train myself to do this, is that as I read the comments, I'll see a comment that says, oh, you piece of... And I'll stop myself right there and move to the next comment. Because the moment I can identify that something is just nasty, and I start to get the inklings that, oh, this is just nastiness, this person just had a really bad day and they're just taking it out on me, then I am immediately able to train myself to no longer sit there and read the 3 paragraphs that this person has left me. Whereas the old version of me, I was so curious about the negativity. And because I was so curious about the negativity, I never would read the positive comments. I would always just look at the negative comments. And do you know what I used to do? I would look at that negative comment, read the entire thing, and then I'll come back and I'll reread it, and then I'll reread it again. And worse, I respond to them. As I reflect about how do you not care, that's no longer my goal. My goal is not about no longer caring. My goal now is about, how do I become less curious about the negativity? And how do I become more curious about the positivity that is right now in the comment section? How do I become more curious about that? And I've had to train this behavior. And that's why I wanted to create this video and make this journal entry. That as you go through this year, all of us are going to experience negativity. All of us are going to experience haters and trolls to some extent. I want to cheer you on. If you're creating content and you're a creator like myself, or even if you're not a creator professionally, but you put out content or you have enough courage to put yourself out there in the world, I say go you. And I say a tool that's going to be able to help you on this journey is learn to be more curious about things that are positive and learn how to become less curious about things that are negative. Thanks for joining me for this journal entry. I'd love to hear what you think. See you in the next one.